Hey everyone, Aniibaldd here. In anime, there are many disturbing scenes, especially those involving torture or the loss of free will, which evoke a unique and unsettling discomfort. One scene in HunterXHunter embodies both elements. When Pitou, a royal guard of the Chimera Ant King, probes Pokkle's brain to extract information. This scene had me thinking, can probing specific regions of the brain really force someone to divulge information against their will? I have delved into the details and made some observations about how Pokkle was driven to such a tragic state. How did we get here? Let's go back to where it all started. Pokkle, a licensed hunter, specialized as a fantastic beast hunter. His journey took a tragic turn when he was captured by the Chimera ants, destined to be fed to the Chimera Ant Queen. After being poisoned, Pokkle barely managed to drag himself away, hiding just before being turned into a meal. Unfortunately, at this very moment, Pitou was born. She didn't take long to accurately detect Pokkle's hiding location. Wanting to understand more about Nen, Pitou decided to interrogate the captured Pokkle. To do this, she examined the human brain and employed a gruesome method to extract information. What was Pitou hoping to achieve by accessing Pokkle's brain? Well, it is possible to stimulate specific areas of the brain to elicit particular reactions from the body and even influence long-term memories. One of those abilities is speech. Although the scene in HunterXHunter is fictional, it parallels a real-world medical procedure performed during awake craniotomy, where patients remain conscious to help surgeons preserve critical brain functions by stimulating specific brain regions. In the unsettling scene that follows, we see Pokkle, reduced to a mere shell of his former self, mechanically explaining how Nen works while Pitou probes his brain. By stimulating specific areas, Pitou forces Pokkle to divulge the details she seeks. However, the situation goes beyond just provoking speech. Pokkle was in a state of extreme lowered inhibition. But what exactly does that mean? Pokkle was in a state resembling the aftermath of extreme physical and psychological torture. This state is similar to the effect of truth serums, which lower inhibitions and make individuals more likely to reveal secrets they would normally keep. Inhibition is like an internal brake that helps control impulses, emotions, and behaviors. I believe Pitou's methods effectively reduced Pokkle's inhibitions to an extremely low level, leading him to reveal information he would normally withhold. Pokkle was subject to no less than 2 major physical trauma that we know of before having his brain hacked. The first trauma was caused by a neurotoxin administered by a chimera ant. Neurotoxins interfere with normal neuronal communication, disrupting neural functions and inhibiting brain activity. Despite taking an antidote, Pokkle struggled to drag himself to safety, ultimately hiding in a pile of human bones after being brought to the chimera ant nest. This demonstrates the extreme potency of the chimera ant's poison and its devastating effect on his physical condition. The second trauma was the opening of Pokkle's skull by a chimera ant. At this point in the story, chimera ants view humans merely as food and are depicted as brutal in their treatment. In medical procedures like craniotomies, specialists ensure that patients do not experience pain and only remove the necessary portion of the skull to access the area of interest. The depiction in the manga shows a far more invasive process. Pokkle's entire skull is removed, exposing the entire top of his brain. This extreme level of invasion not only caused immense pain, but also significantly heightened Pokkle's stress levels, exacerbating his body's stress response and further lowering his inhibition. Understanding Pokkle's psychological trauma is crucial. The immense psychological pressure from Pitou's presence profoundly affects those around her. For instance, Ramnot, who had recently unlocked his Nen power and aspired to become king, experienced a drastic shift in his ambitions upon sensing Pitou's menacing aura. Even as a newborn, Pitou's powerful and threatening aura forced Ramnot to quickly reconsider his goals. This immediate and overwhelming fear is a testament to how Pitou's presence alone can have a profound psychological impact. Nov, an elite hunter and member of the extermination team led by Chairman Isaac Netero, suffered a severe mental breakdown upon sensing Poof's aura, despite not being in close proximity to him. He knew under torture he would be unable to resist and would reveal all the information to the one manifesting that malicious energy. This breakdown was dramatically evident when his hair turned white, a physical sign of extreme mental distress. This phenomenon is reminiscent of the historical claim of Queen Marie Antoinette of France, whose hair is said to have turned white due to intense stress and fear before her execution. Pitou's presence induces a profound sense of fear, driven by her intimidating aura. This fear plays a crucial role in the psychological pressure she exerts. The activation of the fight or flight response triggers the release of stress hormones, overwhelming the brain's executive functions. This impairs a person's ability to regulate their impulses and make considered decisions, making them more susceptible to external demands and pressure. The intense desire for relief and the need to escape the perceived threat can compel individuals to comply with the intimidator's demands. A similar phenomenon is observed in One Piece, where intimidation can cause stress that is physically manifested and lowers inhibition. For instance, in the scene where Luffy faces off against the Snake Sisters, his conqueror's haki induces such a powerful sense of fear that some individuals in the stadium fainted from the sheer intensity of it. The intimidation by Luffy's haki made the Snake Sisters comply with Luffy's demand, leading them to carefully place the statue of Margaret on the floor instead of breaking it as intended. This illustrates how intense intimidation can mentally destabilize individuals, leading them to act contrary to their intentions due to the induced fear. The physical and psychological trauma Pokkle endured were both immense and is what broke him. I believe Pitou probing his brain was merely a way to maximize the chances of getting the desired responses, the tip of the iceberg of what was presented. Pokkle's journey from a hopeful hunter applicant to a legitimate hunter and his tragic death illustrate a story we weren't ready for when the Chimera Ant arc began. What did you think of this iconic scene in HunterXHunter? Don't forget to do the YouTube ritual. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
なかったとしても、結果未発見の動物だと確認できたなら、それはそれで OK。うちの幻獣ハンターの俺にとっては、とにかく実績を作ることが肝心。以上、なんとか結果を出さないと。